Hey everybody, it's a little different video today. September 21st. This is kind of an interesting day to say the least in our household. My dad was born on this day 90 years ago, and my dog Daisy that I got when I moved into this house, she was born this day in 1999, and then Twiggy was born on this day, my German Shepherd mix, at the same farm that Daisy was born on September 21st of, so it was at 2012, after Daisy passed away up in Pennsylvania when I was up there working. And then now we have Bluebell, my little blue heeler that was dumped at the farm out in Midland, and we ended up with her. So we just called today her birthday. Back to the original main reason for this video is my dad would have been 90 today. He passed away in 1990 at the age of 54. In 4 months. Still hard even to this day. But he loved this car. I bought this car in 1988. Man, he loved this thing to death. We'd even take it off-roading. We'd take it and take it to go fishing and stuff at the lake, and we'd bust down dirt roads in it. And man, we had a really good time with that car. And you know, he really liked to have a lot of fun. And man, it's hard to believe he'd have been 90 today. But you know, like most men of his generation, you know, he was a Air Force vet, which was kind of cool. On my Facebook page, I got his old official Air Force picture up there. But you know, I didn't want to cry today, but you know, when you lose your dad when you're only 25, it kind of makes an indelible mark on you. And, you know, my dad loved preaching the Word of God, and he also loved debating people, like, you know, somebody else that's in the news right now. And, you know, he was very strong in his will to let you know that you were wrong. But he was also, you know, a really loving guy. And he loved cars, loved motorcycles. He's the one that got me hooked on working on these, riding and working on those. Even my mom rode motorcycles when she was young. So I didn't have much of a choice, you know. My dad gave me the want to go out and not only help people, but, you know, like the fun of working on cars and the great time you can have riding motorcycles. And, you know, oops, the light went off. I've got one of those motion lights in my garage. Trying to get it to go on. But no, I just thought I'd come on here and just say happy birthday to my dad. He's been in heaven for, what, 35, almost 36 years now. It was January 20th, 1990. So he really loved technology too. He knew technology was going the direction it is. And man, he would have been so excited to see all the advances that we've had. You know, the mark people make on you that sticks with you. You know, he taught me how to care about people and to love and forgive and to, you know, love people. Try to be as unconditional as possible. I'm the guy that I would prefer to do something for you and I never really expect anything back. When I do get stuff back, it's like yay, and but I don't do what I do to get accolades. My dad told me that's not what it's about. You see somebody in need, you help them, and whether it be somebody you love, family member, girlfriend, in some cases boyfriend, whoever it is, he always told me just and friends, just people that and help them when you can, if you can. And I think that's why he taught me a lot of different things. He taught me how to work on cars, taught me how to work on motorcycles, taught me about engineering, taught me about electronics, electrical. That's why I became an engineer. That's why, in aviation, he taught me a lot about aviation. That's why I, went to flight school. That's why I, went to work at Boeing. I worked at Boeing and worked on some pretty cool projects there. Actually worked on the Air Force One project when we built the original 747s for that. And I know my dad, he was really proud when I went to work at Boeing, because at one point he worked for the FAA, and he really enjoyed aviation. He passed that on to me. And my Uncle Ronnie, my mom's brother, really got me interested in it when I was young, when he'd take me flying in GA aircraft, mostly Cessnas back then, but I really loved the Piper Warrior, Piper Cherokees. I kind of prefer those over the Cessnas, even though Cessnas are, they're like the taxi of the sky. It's like everybody learns how to fly a Cessna. But I know it's going to be kind of a bit of a long video. I don't know how long TikTok's going to like it, but I just thought I'd, come on, give my dad some love on his 90th birthday in heaven, and just put out there that, even when people hurt you, it doesn't hurt to help them. Sometimes people are going through things and they're, having a hard time. All of us do. None of us are immune to that, but just always remember, no matter what you're going through, you can still help somebody. My dad taught me that. He taught me that, even if somebody does you wrong, or what you perceive as wrong, it doesn't mean they did you wrong, but even if you perceive they did you wrong, still help them when you can. So always just try to be like my dad, he could be kind of tough, but he also, showed me that you could have a argument with somebody, and then within just a few minutes, once the argument's over, he'd be like, hey, do you want to run down to Dairy Queen? Do you want to run down to Sonic? Do you want to run do this? You want to run do that? Do you want to go, let's go do something. And that's kind of where I've gotten that attitude for my life, Sorry about that. But, you can have a disagreement, you can have an argument, you can, have you can deem a fight. Doesn't mean feelings have changed. It just, once it's over, it should be over. Move past that. And just, hopefully you worked out whatever the problem was. And, it's, he always just, my dad never brought anything back up. Once it was done, it was done. And, but, I just wanted to come out here, show my dad some love today. Wish he was still here. But I definitely could use his help quite a bit, just like anybody else. I know there's a lot of people out there that lost their dads at a young age or never knew their dads. Because, they passed before they could, come to the age of reason where they could remember. And good thing is I got some pictures and, no real video, because, video wasn't that big of a deal back then. It was, but it wasn't. I didn't get my first VHS. I got an RCA Pro Edit in 1990. So actually, I know it was 91. Sorry about that. But you know, just remember to try not to let things in life beat you down. You know, life was never meant to be easy. It was never promised to be easy. I've got friends and relatives that, had a lot of money. Me, I've had a lot of money. I've had not much money. I've, been able to travel and do things. And I've had to, watch my budget. Loved, lost, just like everybody else. My dad, he kind of taught me how to, deal with that in a way. I just have a hard. My dad taught me how to love so well that sometimes it's hard to give that up. Once I love somebody, I love them. Just remember, don't let that world beat you down. There's always a sunrise tomorrow, unless God brings you home. But just keep fighting. That's what my dad taught me. Just keep fighting, keep duking it out, keep making your life better, because you're the only one that can do it. Don't depend on somebody else to make your life better. My dad, he always told me, look, you can't sit around waiting for somebody else to help you out. That's why he taught me so many different things, and I really thank him for that. He was a fortune teller because he knew life wasn't going to be easy. One of those other things he told me, son, all that crazy stuff you do. Of course, I was young. I was, in my teens, and of course, he passed when I was 25, so I was in my early mid 20s. He was like, you can't be doing this, you can't be doing that, you can't be, treating your body bad. And I'm like, no, Dad, man, I'm in great shape. I'm like, I'll never. And he goes, well, remember, son, I was in better shape than you, and I did a lot of things that I regret now. And guess what? He was right. Oh my gosh, age kicks you in the ass, but you know what? You just got to keep dealing with it, keep duking it out. One of my sayings is, I know it's not my saying, but one of my sayings I like is if I didn't wake up in pain, I figured I woke up dead. So, happy birthday, Dad. Happy birthday, Daisy. Happy birthday, Twiggy. Miss both of y'all. Miss all three of y'all so much. And happy birthday, Bluebell. She is that way, eating lunch right now. She loves her farmer's dog. And it's also helping her lose weight. It's kind of amazing. Little fat butt's been getting skinny. But, just share love, not hate. And y'all have a great rest of your day.